She came to the U.S. with only $100 in her pocket and the dream of an education. Now, in a new op-ed, our next guest says, "No, I won't go home," in response to critics on the far left, who she says actually reject all immigrants who don't accept their ideology. That legal immigrant, Helen Raleigh, joins us now with more. Helen, thank you so much for being with us. You came, as was mentioned, from China 25 years ago with $100 in your pocket and a dream to be an American. Yet, still today, we're seeing examples of folks on the left saying, no, 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 we just want certain types of immigrants. Explain your op-ed.
Thank you for having me, P. Yes, it's so disappointing that the woke left, they profess they love immigrants, but they only want the immigrants who agree with their ideology. For immigrants like me who reject their ideology, they have nothing but disdain. Some of them call us white supremacists, some call us a parasite and tell us to go home because we disagree with them politically, and that's very disappointing. So I have a message for them, which is, I'm not going anywhere because the United States is my home. I'm a naturalized citizen. This is my home.
Well said. Well, one of those people that you're referring to, her name is Melinda Byerly. She's the CEO of Fiddlehead, Silicon Valley Tech. And here's a couple of tweets that she had saying, Peter Thiel, Vinod Khosla, the list goes on. Just take your money and go. Stop trying to turn America into a caste apartheid system you came from. And another one, my advice to other states and countries is don't let these parasites gain a foothold in your area. Tax the living bleep out of them and see them for what they are, strip miners who will not rest until they ruin everything. She since apologized a few days later, but this mindset is, we don't want freedom-seeking people coming to America?
Yeah, and it's so disappointing because she actually professed in her profile that she's a diversity champion. She has her pronouns listed. She's all about diversity and inclusion. But that's what we expect nowadays from the far left, the woke left, that they say they want diversity and inclusion, but they only want the people think like them. And they don't want us to have independent thinking. They don't want us to have the freedom of expression. When we immigrants want to speak up and share a different ideology, profess our political beliefs, and they want to shut us down and tell us to go home.
Well, isn't it also that immigrants like yourself have the perspective of where they came from, that first-generation feel, a recognition of what tyranny really looks like?
Exactly. The left always talk about, oh, we should do things based on people's living experiences. Guess what? We have first hand of living experiences of living under socialist policies. That's why we want to see lower taxes. We reject expensive welfare state because we lived in those socialist policies before. We see how those policies ruin the people's life and lower people's living standards.
Yep, and then you vote that way, and that's the problem the left has. Even to this day, as we talked about earlier, with immigrants coming from Cuba or Venezuela, fleeing socialism for freedom. Helen Raleigh, thank you so much for writing the piece and for coming on this morning. We appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.